How to Create a Glitch Monologues Season 7 Chapter 9. This is Episode 9 of How to Create a Glitch in the Matrix Monologues Season 7. In this episode, I will be discussing prophecy and the suggestible nature of the mind. To start out, gateways create commonalities between thoughts experienced by many minds. They posit the existence of a kind of breach in the minds of every person, through which we receive a commonality of thoughts and feelings. In effect, every person believes they are an independent agent acting upon the world, but they are in fact a receiver of a kind of monologue, which arises out of the deference and paths, the result of gateways. Imagine as if our inner monologue passed through the space of common thought through the breach into our mind, becoming then reoriented into our subjective consciousness. Apart from this breach, there is also a kind of receptivity to our minds, a kind of suggestibility to our subjective experience, which permits the substance of our experience to be shaped by what it is received into our minds. In other words, there is a kind of manifestation mirror built into our consciousness which creates according to what is accepted into our subjectivity from the exterior. In other words, we might be looking through a telescope at the moon, when our monologue enters our subjectivity, bringing into the confines of our experience thoughts of UFOs or alien spacecraft. We will then see these things above us through the telescope, as if they have true substance. One of the consequences of this manifesting agent of our subjectivity is the result that we can be manipulated into seeing or manifesting things which distract us from the substance of what we should be seeing. Imagine that you wanted to distract someone from observing something. Imagine it was as easy as sending into their consciousness words like UFO or alien. Such would make it possible to confuse and bewilder, to make it difficult for a person to perceive what is real and what they should be acting upon. Thus, it can be said that this receptivity and manifesting nature of our subjectivity holds a kind of warning as to the fragmentary nature of physical phenomenon and the unreliability of our subjectivity. Prophecy, that is, the experience of the future in the present, which can also be understood as retrocausality, is the product of a mind which receives its subjectivity as a stream of consciousness synchronized with the action of the subjective. That is to say that, since our consciousness is continually surrounded by the context of our attention, attaching itself to things within that stream, it is possible to dislodge that stream simply by dislodging the ordinary flow of our attention. How does this work? Learning to slow the process by which one reacts, to take one's time so to speak on the background, to control the angles of one's attention, may have the effect of undermining the timing of one's attention and action. The goal here is to fine-tune one's attention, to alter the natural ordinary pathway of one's attention, to look where you are not supposed to look, to see what you are not supposed to see. Unlocking this ability can displace the ordinarily interlocking nature of our subjectivity with its context and produce incursions of thoughts according to our monologue, before they would ordinarily result. Thus, to produce the prophetical is to displace the ordinary intersection of our subjectivity with its experience and expose the receptivity of our consciousness to the stuff of meaning, passing through us, reoriented by our receptivity. Anyway, that is the end of the podcast for today. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment and subscribe.